Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the gener8tor Founder Series Spotlight. I'm Troy Vossler, co-founder of gener8tor, and today I am joined by Meg Pryde, founder and CEO of Brandefy. Hey, Meg, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Well, why don't we kick things off by you introducing yourself and your company? Tell us about Brandefy.
Sure. So we got started in 2018 now. I actually cashed out of my retirement account to build a mobile app that compares really high-end products to more affordable products to help shoppers save money. Originally, it was everything from pharma, so like your Advil to your generic Advil. And it took off in the beauty space. And the reason I launched that app is because I worked in consumer packaged goods, and often we would put, the exact same thing into two different containers and sell one for $80 and then the other one for 10. And I just was kind of like appalled that was happening as a consumer. So we launched the app in 2018. It took off in beauty. And then in 2021, at the end of 2021, we ended up launching our own product line based on the data from this mobile app. And that's really the crux of our business today.
I love it. So I always think that's a cool story. So Brandify started with the app, almost like a comparison shopping tool where you could compare name brand products with generics. And like you mentioned, beauty was where it really took off. And so then you pivoted into, kind of taking that data and creating your own branded product. And I guess tell us more about that product mix today in terms of your name brand products now.
Yeah. I mean, 99% of our revenue is generated via the sale of our products. And the mobile app is still really interesting, the consumer acquisition channel. And we learn from it in a meaningful way. Um, and it was just kind of amazing to see like how the company morphed because, Troy, when you invested, we were strictly a tech company. And so like getting our investors on board. You guys were obviously wonderful. And we really figured this out while we were at gener8tor with investing in building our own product line was a pretty incredible feat looking back on it. Because we hired a chemist, we partnered with the right contract manufacturers, and it was a large financial undertaking and not one that many tech investors like investing in. So,
Nice. Well, congratulations on that. Um, Tell us about your current status, whether that's traction or notable customers or accounts, fundraising, whatever you're comfortable sharing.
sure. Yeah, we have raised over $5 million in capital, and I feel incredibly lucky and blessed to be very well funded. And that has made a huge difference in our ability to succeed, just being well capitalized over the different phases of our company. And now we're at the point where we get to be very like choosy about when and how we raise because we've built our revenues to the point of break even, which is like a really exciting moment in a company. And I think going from 0 to 1 million is the hardest. Personally, I think a lot of founders would probably agree with that. And then I think the next hardest thing is getting to profitability.
Yeah,
Like anybody can spend their way to large revenue numbers, but getting there more judiciously is an interesting challenge as a new brand.
I agree. Well, congrats on getting it to that point or on the cusp of that.
No,
Um,
we're beyond that.
yeah, all right. Good. And then where are you located? Where's Brandify headquartered?
We're actually based in Richmond, Virginia, so pretty small city, south of DC. And, I love it here. I have family here. I spent 6 months in Cincinnati doing the gener8tor accelerator and enjoyed that as well. So I have a little bit of, the company's been in different places.
Sure. And when you think about like why Richmond or why Virginia, and feel free to if there's any like notable partners or investors or mentors that you've had in the area.
A large portion of our capital comes from Virginia. And then I would say, you all uh, California and New York. And, I went to UVA, University of Virginia, twice, both for my undergrad and my graduate work. So I started to build up a network here. There are angel investing tax credits that investors get up to, company raising $3 million. And so early on, when we were still trying to figure out what is our revenue model, how are we going to make this like a real profitable business, those were really helpful to our Virginia investors. So just having a lot of support here locally. We are lucky enough to have the support of a couple accelerators here as well. One Startup Virginia, and then the other one being Lighthouse Labs,
Nice.
which were kind of our stepping stones to get to gener8tor,
Sure.
who invested, a sizable amount of capital in the business.
Nice. And then when did you go through gener8tor? I think we were still under the Brandery at that time in Cincinnati, right?
We were, yes. I went in, it was 2018 to 2019, right after I did the Lighthouse Labs program here in Virginia. And it was a great experience. I met so many cool people that I'm still friends with today and have gotten awesome opportunities out of it, even today. And it was awesome.
Nice. Tell me more about your gener8tor experience or, maybe aspects of it that people don't necessarily see from the outside.
I think one of the things that I really loved about it is like you're living with your cohort. So you really get to know them as people and founders, and you can rely on them like throughout your journey. And then you really get put to the test from a pitching perspective because you go on a road show, you get so much feedback from mentors. I was telling you how we decided to become a product company somewhat when we decided to become a beauty focused company when we were in your accelerator. And I remember being in a mentor meeting and my phone just started blowing up because we were getting all these comments on posts or something like that. And the mentor that I was with was like, you should do something with that. Because you just kind of like, we just started to see this moment of incredible traction around the beauty space. And it helped shape like the company that we are today. I remember after that, we decided to put in a test to say, okay, are people coming back for non-beauty products versus beauty products? And so in our, tracking system mix panel in our mobile app, we did like A, yes, beauty products, B, no beauty products. And people were only coming back for beauty products. And that's like, okay, well, we had that position kind of validated that we were a beauty company, whether we liked it or not. And it's a lot more fun. So
I like it. Well, it's been validated. Um, Meg, how would you say the accelerator helped you the most?
I think helping, well, one, helping you raise money. So, like, I was very well prepared to raise a seed round, helping us, I think, later in our journey, helped us through like big transitions, like, hey, like COVID happens, right? Like, what are you going to do? And just having like a network of support. I think I had a lot of mentors through gener8tor or the Brandery at the time that were in retail. So they understood store brands, they understood kind of our side of the business, which I think is somewhat unique to different accelerators.
Mhm.
And you cannot get that unless you're like going to a specialty accelerator, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Having gone through a few accelerators, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs and founders that are considering an accelerator program?
I think it is a fantastic option early stage in your company's journey because you need the mentors. You need to be stress tested from a like business plan and pitching perspective. But most importantly, you need your founder friends. And being in a cohort is a really good way to do that or make those friends.
Yeah, I agree. I think the like peer-to-peer camaraderie that comes from that cohort is really valuable, and that's always a good example for me of something that's perhaps not as valued for someone coming in or thinking about an accelerator. But it's interesting, Meg, how so often on these interviews, people in your position, having gone through an accelerator, will make that comment as one of the most valuable things. So I find that very interesting, and I agree with it.
Yeah. And I think
Uh,
it's because you're like being put through the test with a group of people. So you're a little bit in a stressful situation, a fun
yeah,
stressful situation. And that's how you make friends.
agreed. Tell us more about what was your favorite part of the program, or perhaps your favorite connection made either during the accelerator or anytime after.
I will say something that didn't end up panning out, but was absolutely wild was we almost ended up sponsoring a race car, which was not on my, I think it was in 2024 bingo card. Not my time.
It still might happen.
You never know. And that was like just such a like fun, kind of comical, weird twist of events. And, you know, I think the other piece of it is like just the genuine mentorship that's been there for me after the program. Both, introductions to investors. We were introduced through gener8tor to one of our larger investors. And that was really, really meaningful. Just kind of introductions at the right time and place.
I love it. Love to hear it. All right, my last question that I ask every guest here is if you had one ask for this audience, people watching, maybe it's an introduction or advice or mentorship or an investor or a customer, what would your ask be?
I have a funny one. So we do a lot of ads, and we have a troll who has never tried our products, who comments really negatively. And so if you get served on our ads, please stand up for my company and or comment positively.
I got it. So next time I see a Brandefy ad on social media or elsewhere, and there's a comment section, I need to put that troll in their place.
You do. Yeah, yeah. It's just it's wild because I think you haven't made it until you have a true hater. And mine just happens to be a sweet older lady in Texas.
Wow. Is it a name brand troll or a generic troll?
Name brand. She is
Name
like
brand.
very attached to the name brand product and has never tried ours and will always offer like, hey, we will send you our products for free.
I like it.
But she hasn't taken us up on it yet.
Well, Meg, always good to see you. Congrats on all the success with Brandefy. Meg Pryde, founder and CEO of Brandefy. Please check out the link to her website in the comment section or in the chat, and please be a customer. Thank you, Meg. Congrats.
Thanks.